I have been involved in tutoring since about 1976 because when we moved here, I wasn't credentialed out in California, although I had 5 credentials in Illinois, so I couldn't get a job. So I said, well, I'll just start my own tutoring business, and that's the beginning, and I've done it ever since, really. I came to LPC in February of 1997 and was asked to teach the tutor training classes, and at that time not even supervise. I was only here eight hours a week, and so now it's grown to the point that I'm the instructor and the coordinator. I did. When I was 6, for some reason, I just knew I wanted to be a teacher. I had my dolls out, I had my sister up. They were always my students, and so it was just kind of a career path that seems like it was chosen for me. It was my 3rd grade teacher. Her name was Miss Bloomberg, and she was the kind of teacher that would let you stay late, and we would do science projects, and we'd get to read extra books, and she'd just help us on anything we wanted. Love me do. My mom. She was a teacher for all her life too, and the part that really influenced me was when I was in junior high and she started working with cerebral palsy students, and I would go and help her after school, and I saw the absolute love that she had for those students, and she was kind of my inspiration for what our school now has as our motto, which is students first. And she was just the best inspiration that I could have in looking at her and knowing what I wanted to be like as a teacher. The only tutoring I was involved in when I was a student was with my mom and her special ed students, because I would go and I'd work with them in reading, and that was really enjoyable. It was volunteer, but I never did anything official when I was a student. Love me do. You know I think our biggest one right now is the budget, but our students here are great. They've taken my challenges and they've really lessened them, because I used to pay everyone and I can't do that anymore, but we have so many students coming in to volunteer, and they say, we don't care if we get paid, we just want to do this. So that's a challenge, and yet on the other hand, it's being answered by the students. I look for patience as number 1. Students who are responsible, students who are very respectful of varied students. We have so many different students that come in here, but we have to have people who can work and feel comfortable with the variety. You'd think I'd say I want a 4.0 student or somebody that's perfect, but I really don't. I think sometimes the person that makes the best tutor is one who struggled a little bit in their own classes, because they realize what their students are going through, and then it makes them a little more understanding. Not this position exactly, but I'll tell you how far back it goes. When we moved to Livermore in 1976, we were just taking a drive through the hills. There was nothing anywhere, and we came across 2 little buildings, and it said Chabot Valley Campus. And I said to my husband, someday I want to teach there. Now, I thought it would probably be in psychology or something like that, but this position has just really been a nice fit for me. I think the advice I'd give myself if I had to go back 20 years would probably be not to stress over your weaknesses. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses in their learning and in their education. I'm strong in English, and history, and art, and psychology. I am weak in math. And so I used to feel that that made me less of a person or less of an educator. But what I found is we all have our strengths, and we just have to learn to build our weaknesses. But use those strengths and be happy with them and not try to be somebody else. And not be afraid, but be willing to tackle and get in there and work with our weaknesses. And I found that with our students. That's why a lot of them come to tutoring, is because they have those weaknesses, but they don't need to be afraid. So in a way, my weakness has made me be able to identify with the students a little more. But that was a big one that I didn't know in the beginning.